Good morning, my friend. Welcome back to the Ride In. It is Wednesday morning, December the 10th. I hope you had a great Tuesday. This morning I wanted to share with you a little bit of something I was reading in my Bible this morning. I was in 1 Peter, and I believe I got to chapter 4, and I was reading a verse that said something along the lines of use hospitality without grudging. Use hospitality without grudging. And I think we could also say that be hospitable. Use hospitality. Be hospitable without complaining, without murmuring, it's about being hospitable with the right spirit. That word hospitable is it's an interesting word, but it speaks of a love and a care and a concern and a servant-heartedness and a caring for the needs of people that are from the outside. If you look up the definition, it speaks of foreigners. When you look at the New Testament context, many times they're speaking of Jews versus Gentiles or Jews versus Greeks. And Peter here, I believe, is writing to the Jews, his nationality, his brethren, and perhaps he's teaching his brothers, his Jewish brothers, to, again, something that it was a concept, it was a paradigm viewpoint that the Jews had to unlearn. They had to loosen the fabric of centuries of having a disdain for people that were not them, that didn't look like them, act like them, believe like them, worship the same God. And so, in one sense, he's encouraging his Jewish Christian brothers to be looking without and to see how he can be a blessing, they can be a blessing to those who are searching for truth, searching for spiritual stability in life. And as they were reaching out into the regions beyond Jerusalem and Judea and Samaria and Israel, there was a whole world out there that needed to see the love of Christ, that needed to see someone who cared about their needs. And being hospitable doesn't necessarily speak of a spiritual manner of service, so to speak, a preaching, a teaching, sharing scripture. I think it really speaks of the practical necessities of life, showing care and concern for what people have need of in their life, to bring them in, to make them feel at home, to make them feel apart, to make them feel like their desires, their needs, their wants matter, making them feel comfortable as an outsider in my group, so that they can feel like they're a part of my group. And this involves service. This involves the type of things that Jesus showed his disciples, as he washed their feet, as he served them, as he expended himself for them, humbly, as a slave or a servant. And we can very quickly, in the flesh or in our carnal spirit, get away from that idea that the greatest among us shall be servant of all. We need to have that hospitable spirit at the church house, in our daily life, looking for a way to bring people in that feel like they're on the outside. And then just to touch on that last phrase is without grudging, without murmuring, without complaining. Expending yourself, being selfless, serving. Sometimes we can do that because we know we're supposed to. We check the box, but we don't have the spirit behind it that we should. May God help us to cultivate a walk with God in such a way that he would develop within us a true, cheerful, delight to see the needs of others met, to forget about ourselves, to forget about our comfort zone, and to think about their comfort zone, and think about how good God's been to you and all that you have, and to realize that what a blessing it would be to bring them into our world, to enjoy the things of God, to enjoy the fellowship of a spiritual family. Hospitality, that is something that you could apply to so many areas of life. When guests or visitors come to our church, certainly having folks into our home, when people come into your Sunday school class, just like a bird dog, just looking for those people to be sure, to have a heartbeat, that they're okay, that their needs are met, that they know where things are, they know where the bathroom is, they know where, they need to take their children, or, whether it be a classroom or a junior church or a nursery or whatnot. We all have that mentality that we're hospitable, we love it, we care, and it's not a drudgery to us. It's not something that we do just because we're supposed to. We do because we want to, and because we love people. Anyway, I think that's somewhere around 1 Peter 4:9 or something. So if you want to look that up and see the context, I know that'll be a blessing to you. So there's your thought for the day. Be safe out there. It's pretty snowy this morning, but thankfully it's not super cold like it's been. So anyway, you take care of yourself, and Lord willing, we will see you tonight at Bible study. God bless. Bye-bye.